Hi, I'm Nicola from Bloom Solopreneur, and this is part 3 in the tutorial series on the spreadsheet My Financial Life. Part 1 covered all of the aspects that the spreadsheet covers, such as budgeting, assets and liabilities, credit card tracking, password tracking, online shopping tracking, things like that. Part 2 covered budgeting and how to use the income and expenses trackers to manage your finances, and part 3, which is this one, is going to cover how to track or manage your assets and liabilities. So looking at savings trackers, debt calculators, and how best to use them for you. So let's get in. Hi, here we are again in the instructions sheet on the My Financial Life spreadsheet. This video is about assets, so we shall jump straight to the Assets tab and go through the information that you can enter there. So here's the Assets tab, and there is a simple table field for you to enter your assets, and the information that you enter is then displayed on the chart above. So the spread of where each of those assets are then displayed. So the first 2 rows, which are highlighted in pink, are taken from information that you may already have entered in the spreadsheet. So rather than having to enter the same information twice, it will do that work for you. So if you've got any shares in the share portfolio, then it will enter the information there. And if you've got any information in the savings tracker, then that also will show information there. From then on, you don't have to use those tabs for that information. You could enter them directly into here. So I could say I've already got savings of £3,000 that I haven't done anything with as far as tracking towards a goal. And maybe we've also got a car. Now I would normally put that as a large fixed asset, and let's call it 20,000. And as you see, as I was entering that information, then the spread of the assets changed. Now I'm just going to change that from large fixed asset to personal, just to show the difference, because otherwise everything looks yellow. So that is the spread of the assets, and that is also displayed here on the main dashboard. The assets are also taken into account here in your net worth, so that it takes all of the value of all of those assets and subtracts any liabilities, i.e. debts, and gives you how much you're worth from there. So at the moment, having just entered assets, I'm worth £189,250. So that is the assets, and you can enter as many rows as you like in there. If you exceed the amount that you need, then you just do an insert into the table field and it just creates more rows there. If we then look at savings, at the moment I have a savings target called holiday. The goal is to save £3,000 in the next 12 months. I was starting with 0, and so what it's calculated for me is that I need to be saving £250 a month to reach that target. Just for information, anything that is highlighted in pink are pre-calculated cells, so don't change any of those. You're entering everything in rows or cells that have got that are white, essentially. So from here we can see that I've got a goal of 3,000, I need it for 12 months, and my target is £250 a month. And in my tracker I've said for the last 5 months I've saved £250, which is where the amount came from. So this 1,250 has come from in the assets. Go back to the savings and enter another goal. So let's say I'm getting married, I want £10,000. I've got the £3,000 that I've already saved. and I'm getting married in 2 years' time, so let's say 24 months. So to save £10,000 in those 24 months, I need to be saving a further £291. So the total savings, if I'm keeping both of these in track, is £541.67. From my budget spreadsheet, I have already allocated £550 to that amount. So if I go to the budget, we'll see that the savings is £550. If I reduce that down to say £400 and go back to savings, you'll see that actually my targets of saving can't be met from that amount. So either I jiggle the money around in the budget to make it so that I can save that amount, or reduce the goal, or extend out the number of months. So if I say 36 months I'm getting married, then we are down to the 444. But the wedding date's set for 2 years' time, so it's 24 months, and fortunately in my budget I have got some capacity to be able to add extra into my savings. So let's go 550 again, and I've still got some spare capacity there for savings. So again, I can start from May and start saving £291.67. In fact, I have got an extra £8.33, so I could actually round that up to £300, and I'm not breaching any of my savings budgeted amount, and it just means I'll reach my goal quicker. So as we can see, the totals are all here, and if we go back to the finance overview system dashboard, we'll see that 2 goals are now present. Obviously that is the goal, and I'm nowhere near it at the moment, but as time goes by and we add more and more savings into the pot, then that chart will show you how well you're doing. And that's all there is to do with the savings tracker. So if we go to the share portfolio, this tab allows you to track some shares that you may have. Again, we're limited from a chart perspective as only being able to populate this number in the table. I've pre-populated it with 2 sets of shares. I have no idea whether these are accurate in the amounts. It was just to give you an idea of how it works. So what we've got is Apple. I'm going to ignore the current share price for the moment. The number of shares that I bought was 200, and the price I paid was £8. And for Microsoft, the number of shares 1,500, so I got more for £10. And as of, let's say today, I've said that the current share price was £15 for Apple, so that gives me a positive gain of 87%. Great. But for Microsoft, I've said that the amount is £8, so actually that reduces my gain of minus 20%, giving me an overall percentage change of minus 9.64, which means in real terms it's actually a loss of £1,600 from what I invested in the first place, which isn't great. So if I just put in another one of, let's say I've got 3,000 shares, I paid 20p for it, and they're now worth £1, would again seeing a great increase of 400% in that one. Microsoft's still showing me as 2%, so I've not changed anything there, but because I've now got an increase in another share, my overall portfolio has gained £800. So that really, you have to track the share price itself and manually input it, but when you input it, it will show you where you are by having that value there. So we've got value here. If we then go back to the assets tab, we've got a value of 20,250. Where's it got that from? So that's the value. So that's how much your shares are worth. You've actually, so it's taken from here. Your actual cost was 17,200. To get to that point, they're now worth 20,250, which is what's showing in the assets here. And it's a gain of 3,050. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully it's all something that is of value to you and will help you out in using the spreadsheet. Thanks for your time watching these.